If you've been dealing with joint pain for more than 6 months, what I'm about to show you could save you years of suffering. What I'm about to show you isn't some new wellness trend, it's peer-reviewed science that most doctors won't tell you about because they haven't even heard of it yet. It's a brand new study that changes everything we know about rheumatoid arthritis. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Drew. 3 years ago, I could barely walk because rheumatoid arthritis, POTS, and multiple other autoimmune diseases. I've now reversed them all with natural methods, and that's what I teach you how to do on this channel. Now, I'm not just going to tell you what foods are destroying your joints, I'm going to show you exactly how they function and the exact biological pathway they use to get from your gut straight to your joints. The mechanism that turns your own immune system into an inflammation delivery service. Science have actually shown in this new study that your own immune cells are literally carrying toxins like some sort of inflammation Amazon to your joints. So basically, getting into the substance of this, there's an immune cell called macrophages. So macrophages are like this immune cell that basically acts like a giant wad of gum in your immune system. So basically, what happens is when you have bacteria coming in from your gut, or if you have some sort of like inflammation coming into your body, these macrophages will come like a giant glob of gum. They'll go and just like ram into the bacteria and pick up the bacteria bits or pick up the toxin bits, like, I don't know, aluminum fat fragments or stuff like that. They'll pick them up, and what they'll do is after the inflammation goes away, after the battle is over between the inflammation, it now has all this junk inside of itself, different like bacterial bits and toxins inside itself. So what it'll normally do is transfer from what's called an M1 macrophage, that's the battle-ready macrophage. It'll transfer into an M2 macrophage. And the M2 is basically the form of the macrophage that is supposed to basically rest and process these toxins and digest them and get them into a non-toxic form. But the problem is that these scientists have discovered is that when you are in a constantly inflamed state, the pathway to go from M1 to M2 is blocked. Your body blocks your macrophages from going into this digestion healing phase if you have too much inflammation, which is the case with people with rheumatoid arthritis. So what this new study found is that instead of making the M1 macrophages go to M2, since you can't convert it, what these macrophages do is they go straight to your joints and actually dump the bacterial DNA into your joints. So a hypothetical scenario would be you have like some sort of leaky gut. And so the leaky gut causes the macrophages, causes an immune response. The macrophages show up, collect a bunch of bacterial DNA, then they head straight to your joints, and now you have a bunch of inflammation and rheumatoid arthritis. So since we know that leaky gut can cause rheumatoid arthritis and greatly worsen it because of these macrophages, we need to actually take steps to heal our leaky gut and take action to remove the foods that are actually causing this leaky gut so you can heal your rheumatoid arthritis so you can actually feel better. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 foods that are horrible for leaky gut, and if you don't drop them, you're just basically poisoning yourself. So the first one, even though it's cliche, is gluten. So gluten is actually shown to directly increase your leaky gut or and stuff. So basically, what happens is gluten, when you ingest it, it directly causes your body to release something called zonulin. And so zonulin is this protein in your gut that regulates the tightness of the junctures between your intestinal cells. So when you have high zonulin, your gut juncture between cells are very wide, allowing bacteria and stuff to go through. But when your inflammation is low, healthy junctures. But what gluten does is it directly goes to your gut and it directly stimulates increases zonulin. So it's directly increasing your leaky gut. And that allows this bacteria to enter through, this unhealthy bacteria to enter through the gut, stimulating the macrophages and then delivering it straight into your joints. So we need to cut out gluten completely. And it's not even clear that it's directly gluten doing it. It could actually be this preservative that farmers put on it in America called glyphosate, because people with gluten allergies are actually able to eat gluten in Europe and feel completely fine. So it's more likely that it's actually glyphosate, which is this preservative that they put on in the US, but it's actually banned in Europe. So why we use stuff that's actually like banned in other countries is above me. But anyways, the next food you need to actually start avoiding is refined sugar and carbs, because these carbs and sugars are what is feeding the bad gut bacteria. If you just ate like a human and stopped eating like some like subhuman creature, is you wouldn't have an imbalanced gut. And if you don't have an imbalanced gut, you're less likely to have these gut problems, this junk in your gut. And so you actually need to change your diet, cut out the sugar, and you'll actually be able to regrow a healthy gut microbiome, which actually eats, that actually doesn't live off of sugar. And the thing about good gut bacteria is it actually helps repair your gut lining instead of ripping it down, helping you to further get rid of rheumatoid arthritis. And so the next one you need to get rid of is seed oils. Seed oils are a massive problem. And the reason why that is if you actually look at the chemical structure, it's this sort of Z formation. It's like a zigzag sort of form. And the problem with this zigzag is that it's a very, very unstable. If you get a molecule or a atom in there, in one of the junctions in between the zigzag, then it's very unstable, and these two parts on the outside will split apart and become just free floating free radicals, or what you might call oxidative stress. And so the problem with that is that since when you eat oil, there's a bunch of oil, those two different fragments can go and attach themselves to other polyunsaturated fatty acids or other seed oils, which then split apart again, and those can connect and split apart again, and it keeps creating this giant, just like continuous snowball effect of oxidized oils. And the what's super super bad about that is because every single cell in your body has something called the lipid bilayer. So all your cells have this little ring of lipids or fats around them, and it can also be made up of polyunsaturated fatty acids if you eat a lot of those. And so because of that, when you eat seed oils and they get oxidized, you are just introducing a ton of toxins into your system, and it actually leads to a bunch of problems inside and out. Like, it even increases your rate of wrinkles because of the oxidizing effect of seed oils. So you definitely want to cut them out, especially these factory processed ones. Like, if you want to still get in seed oils, I think people should still get in an amount of seed oils, because studies have shown that people who balance both seed oils and omega-6s together synergistically actually have the highest health outcomes. Just think you should not get them from these packaged seed oils, but get them from real food sources, like eating actual sunflower seeds or eating nuts is the best way to do it. Because when you're getting these packaged seed oil containers, they have to heavily process them, and part of that processing includes heating them. And the problem with heating them is because it makes them even more unstable. So when you buy these giant seed oil packets, you're like a giant percent of it is already oxidized. It's already just a giant pool of oxidative stress ready for you to ingest, which is horrible for you and causes a bunch of gut inflammation and a bunch of horrible health outcomes. And so moving on to the fourth point, which is lectin-rich foods. So lectins are a form of anti-nutrient, which anti-nutrients are basically things you eat that bind to nutrients like calcium, like potassium, like phosphorus, and they block your gut from ingesting them. And along the way, they cause a bunch of inflammation. Like, for example, lectins, what they are, like at a molecular level, are a bunch of proteins combined with a bunch of carbs. So it's just like this giant bowling ball of proteins and carbs mixed together. And basically, it's this giant bowling ball that goes and wrecks through your villi, which are those little humps inside of your intestines. So it just rolls through them completely, like eviscerates them, knocks them all down, and which is a huge problem. It causes a giant increase in gut permeability, which leads to those macrophages and then leads to those rheumatoid arthritis. So what you can do is cut out the lectin-rich foods so you can feel better and start actually getting healthy again. So lectin-rich foods are grains, beans, and that's the main thing. Any type of seed. Basically, if you think of any so beans, grains, nuts, all are very high lectin and you need to cut them out, especially beans. If you have to eat carbs for like whatever reason, just go for rice. Rice is the lowest anti-nutrient food, it's the least inflammatory, and it is the healthiest carb by far. And so finally, the final point, the final food you should cut out is conventional dairy, which is A1 casein pasteurized cow milk. So the problem with this dairy is that, first of all, let's go through the A1 part. So there are two types of dairy. There's A1 dairy and there's A2 dairy. So A1 dairy is the dairy that most cows have, but it's completely unnatural. All of their species on Earth have A2 dairy. But the problem is that after humans domesticated cows like 10,000 years ago, a certain cow had some sort of genetic problem, genetic mutation that made them start producing this A1 dairy. And the problem with that is that your body treats proteins that it doesn't produce itself, or it treats proteins that are different from itself. The more different a protein is, the more foreign it will treat it. And the more foreign your body treats a protein, the more you react to it. And that increases your gut permeability. It increases how much your gut is trying to attack it, which increases that zonulin and makes your gut just basically like fall apart. So it's horrible for you. And so what you want to do is try to get A2 unpasteurized dairy. A2 unpasteurized dairy is so much better for you, and there's actually been studies done that A2 unpasteurized helps your gut actually heal better, get better, though A1 goes completely against that. So if you can get it, A2 raw cow milk, or you can just do goat or sheep milk because they're all goat and sheep milk is A2. So if you actually want to heal, you need to drop every single one of these poisonous foods. No excuses. You have all the information now. You know how this stuff works, and you can actually have the power to make a difference in your rheumatoid arthritis. And so if you want more content like this with more like science-based information to help actually understand the reason behind your disease, subscribe and let me know in the comments if you liked this video, if you want to see something similar, if you want to go over another disease, and I'll see you in the next video.